In general, has it all felt very different being able to be home this much time and do everything? Just talk about how wonderful it's been to be able to create and do what you do.
Yeah, in general, I've been on the road for 20 years. Every year I go out for a good number of dates, 100 days of the year at least. On a busy year, 250 dates a year, maybe more. And in the back of my mind, I thought, what would it be like to be home more often, or to be home for a full year and see all four seasons pass and be more of a local community guy instead of just a business traveler. So I'm getting a dose of that, and it's great because I get to be a household member. I get to be a member of my farm community. Um, I feel like I'm being a better uh, environmentalist or conservationist by not traveling and flying and wasting, using fossil fuels, and instead working on my patch of earth and learning how to use this technology to still be a performing artist and to still create art and music and communicate. So a bit of a learning curve there, and I know a lot of the music industry and the entertainment industry has made this shift as well to learn how to use the technology.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the investments that artists are making right now to learn how to live stream and connect with audiences, I'm really hoping those investments return for the artists. I don't need it myself. I've done well, but there's a lot of young artists now who are just getting in the industry who are going to be relying on this technology and this type of communication. So I'm really hoping that the audiences out there really lend an ear to supporting the artists that they follow, especially the younger artists that are just getting started. Because
Sure. Yeah. And for you to release an album amid this, all your albums have always been full of love and optimism and hope, and they've always felt very timeless and of the moment. I can probably say that with every one of your records. You probably agree with that as well. But this one, especially so, because everything's so heightened right now.
yeah, yeah. I knew 2020 was going to be an engaged year. It's an election year, and that brings up a lot of debate, a lot of conflict. But I did not anticipate this level of conflict. If I look for the good right now in what's going on, it's that America is getting an education, a big one. And I've tried to put that in my songs. I've tried to basically feed that awakening of that education the best I can through my experiences. But clearly there's more work to be done. There's more radical, positive, uplifting, transformational music to be made in the world to educate all of us on how we can advance equality and better serve society as a whole. So I knew 2020 would be an engaged year, so I tried to create the kind of music that would breathe life into issues that I care about, whether it's gun control or inequality, advancing equality, and trying to maintain a sense of peace and positivity while walking through turmoil. So that was already a part of this album.
Mm-hmm.
Now because of what's happening, it's easier to hear those messages.
Mm-hmm. So how wonderful is that for you as an artist and someone who does constantly give back, and you have your foundation, you've done so many wonderful things. To have this new music coming out now must be extra gratifying that this will be heard in an even more pronounced way and do good as an artist like you always do.
Sure. It's not wonderful because of the circumstances, but I think it's every artist's responsibility to tell stories and reflect the world, and hopefully done so, through taste and through inclusion. So I've tried to do that, especially the last few years, is use my superpower for good. If I'm going to be out there making music and taking people's time and attention, it's got to be for harmony. It's got to be for transformation and growth and evolution, so that we can become a freer and more just and more peaceful world.
Very good. And on the most basic level, this is such a gorgeous sounding album, such a fun record in some ways, and just a lively record in lots of ways, which can give the people the impression that it's a downer because it's all your great messages, but this is just a great summer record on one level.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. This You can dance and or march to this album. It's got an upbeat vibe. Every single song you can dance to, and dance is such a great way to sort of get out of your head and into your heart and
Mhm.
use some of that energy that might otherwise turn into panic or anxiety. But to dance and sing is a phenomenon, and it's a magic trick that is so transformative. I teamed up with Michael Goldwasser of Easy Star All Stars, who's an amazing reggae producer. We put together a phenomenal band, and this album is really a tribute to multiple reggae genres, everything from vintage reggae to modern sort of digital reggae. But we did that because that music speaks to all walks of life all around the world. Every single country listens to reggae, and I've been a big fan of it for a long time. So I've dabbled a little bit on my live stage in reggae, but I've never made an entire album of reggae tracks. So that was the goal from the start, was to make something that everybody could feel and then have some lyrics that everybody can hear.
Does that feel different now, having a full album of that? Does it feel like your discography now has changed, that you've added this whole different level to the Jason Mraz world?
I think so. And when you see the album artwork, it says this is a reflection of Jason Mraz and friends. And because I can't take full credit for the end result of this. This
Yeah.
is writers, producers, musicians, especially, who have helped us craft this sound. And I think it's really the sound of a community more than anything. So yes, it is an evolution in the discography. But I know I'm not final. I'm not even going to settle here. I have a lot of other ideas I want to try, dipping in and out of other genres even. But this genre really lights me up, especially for the live show. Years and years of going to festivals and seeing how audiences react. I mean, when you're on stage, you're crowd control. That's your job. And something about an infectious groove, a bass line, a beautiful bass line, and a great beat gets people moving in a good way. So I'm really excited about that evolution, is having these musicians with me as we eventually get back out there in the world and help people dance
Yeah.
their struggles.
And talk about creative ways you're still going to bring music to the people. I know you do have your own live stream. You're on YouTube. People are going to be able to hear your music, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm still figuring out the live stream thing. It's just not the same. There's no crowd, there's no audience. I
Yeah.
mean, see them digitally whizzing by, but I may just start inviting my friends and neighbors over into the room or something to give it a little more energy. But we're not giving up hope. We've still got a great band, and we're all still standing by. The minute that this world feels safe to put
Yeah.
everybody on a bus and start driving around the country, we will do that. And we will be bringing this music to everyone far and wide the minute we are given the green light.
Looking forward to that. And talk about the joy of bringing Tiffany Haddish into the fold. And the video is so much fun. If you can talk about that whole experience.
Sure. Well, we had originally intended to get together and have a dance video in LA with all the band members and all of our beautiful friends. But of course, that got canceled. Gathering just wasn't possible. Studios closing, etc. So we came up with this idea that we would do it virtually, and the idea changed so many different times because it's a virtual experiment, and we weren't sure. We didn't want to create just a typical Zoom video of a bunch of square heads. We wanted to see if we could get people dancing. So in the end, there's only 2 scenes of groups of people dancing because it was hard to render and process all that information, but it was mostly Tiffany and I, and then Jen Rosenstein, who directed it, and her wife, Sarah Hyland Rosenstein, did this amazing animation to create a virtual world rather than just us in our homes or standing in front of a wall. They take us on a journey through the cosmos and under the sea and walking the streets and reconnecting with our friends and dancing on top of the world. And it was a way to basically virtually try to visualize the kind of world we want to live in and hope that kind of where we can get back to. Tiffany's amazing. I met her through Jen and through the LA comedy scene. I was a big fan of hers already through Tuca and Birdie and her stand-up. And the second I had a window to meet her, I said, "Do you rap? I just want to know, do you sing as well? Because you're a triple threat, I can tell." And she was like, "Yeah, I can rap," almost in a way like, "Where's the studio? Let's go prove it." And it was just so fun, so free. She moves at the speed of thought. She lives in the now. She cares. She has the She Ready Foundation, which helps young girls get on their feet. And I felt that this track really resonated with that She Ready Foundation, because this is an opportunity when Tiffany steps out to really speak from the woman's perspective, which is very much needed when I'm making this type of eclectic album. I have to make sure the feminine perspective is included as well.
Thank you for watching. If you want more extra, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll never miss a video.